If you're a Warriors fan, you know this pain. Years of anticipation, rumors that come and go, the constant feeling that Curry's window could be closing without the right move. Today, that changes. Because what seemed like just speculation just turned into a final decision. And it involves Giannis. It's not just big news. It's a turning point that could solve exactly the problem that this team has had for seasons. Stay with me these next few seconds, because I'm going to explain what has now been revealed, why this changes everything, and how the Warriors may have finally found the answer they've been missing. Before I show you exactly what changed and why this decision by Giannis could turn the key for the Warriors, do the following quickly. Subscribe to the channel now, because here you don't get reheated rumors, you get the hot information with context and what it really means for the team. Leave a like too, because this like is the signal for YouTube to deliver this video to more fans who are trying to understand what is happening. And activate the bell, but activate it on all, because an update could come out at any time and you will be one of the first to know. Now promise me one thing. Don't leave the video. In a moment, I will show you the detail that many people will ignore, but which is exactly where the Warriors truly make history in this play. Quickly comment. Do you think this is the move that Curry needed to fight for another title? Now, let's go to the video. If you've been following the Golden State Warriors long enough, you know exactly how heavy these kinds of moments are. It's not just another market rumor, it's not another inflated headline to generate clicks. What began as a distant whisper, almost impossible to imagine, has now gained shape, context, and, most importantly, real consequences. The name of Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the greatest players in recent NBA history, began to orbit the Warriors' universe in a way that no one can ignore anymore. And when this happens, the impact goes far beyond a simple negotiation. The mood around the league has changed. Executives, journalists, analysts, and fans are all looking at the same thing, trying to understand whether they are witnessing just another chapter of speculation or the beginning of something that could redefine the NBA's balance of power for years to come. Because when a player the size of Giannis gets into that kind of conversation, there is no middle ground. Either everything remains as it is, or absolutely everything changes. For weeks, the narrative seemed familiar. Rumors, controlled leaks, sources close to the situation, and that silent game of information that the NBA knows so well. But what sets this case apart is the magnitude of the movement attributed to the Golden State Warriors. It's not just about a high offer. There is talk of a proposal designed to be historic, both in financial and symbolic aspects. A clear message. The Warriors aren't just trying to compete. They're trying to shape the league's next great chapter. Giannis built his career on something rare in modern sport, loyalty combined with excellence. Milwaukee wasn't just the team that picked him in the draft. It was the place where he became an MVP, champion, leader, and global reference. This makes any possibility of change even more delicate, more complex, and emotionally charged. It's not just about changing your shirt, but about reevaluating everything that has been built so far. At the same time, there is a reality that no great player ignores. The career is finite. Title windows open and close with brutal speed. And when the possibility arises of joining a project that combines a winning structure, consolidated culture, experienced squad, and an offensive system that enhances unique talents, reflection becomes inevitable. It is at this point that the Warriors' interest gains strength. The discourse attributed to the franchise goes far beyond numbers. We talk about vision, technical fit, of legacy, of how Giannis's game could reach a new level in an environment that historically maximizes spacing, collective reading, and creative freedom. Imagining Antetokounmpo driving to the basket with the court open, surrounded by lethal shooters and players accustomed to the pressure of finals, is not only exciting, it's scary for the rest of the league. This scenario explains why the conversation stopped being just sports and became cultural. Fans who normally don't follow negotiations closely are now discussing salary caps, contractual exceptions, and sign-and-trade possibilities. Social networks were taken over by simulations, projections, and heated debates. The simple idea of Giannis wearing Warriors colors became a collective exercise in imagination. Meanwhile, the player's own silence draws attention. There are no emphatic denials nor enthusiastic confirmations, just caution. And in this context. So silence speaks loudly. It suggests reflection, deep analysis, and the understanding that any decision made now will be remembered for decades, not just for titles, but for the meaning it carries. On Milwaukee's side, the impact is immediate. No franchise prepares emotionally to lose its greatest active idol. Internally, the climate is one of controlled tension. Contingency plans are discussed, alternative scenarios are evaluated, and the priority becomes showing the player that the project is still capable of competing at the highest level. At the same time, the board understands that modern basketball requires pragmatism. Nothing can be ruled out. This possible movement also forces other franchises to reposition themselves. If Giannis changes conferences, the East breathes differently. If he joins a winning structure in the West, the bar rises instantly. Decisions that were planned for the near future can be brought forward. Other stars may rethink their ways. It's a silent but powerful domino effect. There is also an aspect that is less discussed but equally relevant: the impact off the court. The Golden State Warriors are not just a winning franchise, is a global brand. Giannis's presence in this ecosystem would expand reach, influence, and commercial opportunities on an international scale. It's not just about basketball, but about strategic positioning in an increasingly globalized market. All of this turns this story into something bigger than a trade or signing rumor. It's a narrative about ambition, time, legacy, and courage to step out of your comfort zone. For Giannis, accepting a challenge of this size would mean testing his greatness in a completely different context. For the Warriors, it would be the definitive statement that the winning mentality did not end with past titles. It remains alive, adaptable, and aggressive. The most fascinating thing is that, even without official confirmation, the impact has already happened. The league is on alert. Each press conference, each interview, each detail is analyzed as if it were hiding a decisive clue. It's like watching a big game before kickoff, when the tension in the air is almost palpable. Regardless of the outcome, this story has already entered the imagination of the NBA. If Giannis stays, it reinforces a rare narrative of absolute loyalty in times of extreme mobility. If it leaves, it opens a new chapter that will be studied, debated, and remembered for generations. In both cases, the moment is historic, and that's exactly why it's worth following each step carefully, not just to know what is going to happen, but to understand why it is happening. Because when decisions of this size are made, they reveal much more than an immediate destination. They show how the game evolves, how stars think, and how big franchises build the future. What we are seeing now is not just a possible negotiation. It is the portrait of an NBA in transformation, where legacy and ambition go hand in hand. And at the center of it all is Giannis Antetokounmpo, reflecting on the next move in a career that is already storied but could yet reach a whole new level. And that is exactly why this moment cannot be treated as just another piece of market news. We are talking about a possible breaking point in the NBA, a decision that could redefine not only the future of a franchise, but the direction of the entire league in the coming years. When a player of Giannis's size enters this equation, every detail matters, every silence carries meaning, and every movement behind the scenes can be the beginning of a new era. Nothing here is small, nothing is casual. Now, the most important thing, this story doesn't end here. Quite the opposite. The next hours and days could bring decisive information, unexpected twists, and clear signs about which path this narrative will take. And if you want to follow all this in the right way, without noise, without empty exaggeration, and with analysis from those who really live the Warriors' day-to-day life, you need to be in the right place. In the pinned comment, I left the Golden State Warriors News Today playlist. That's where I organize all the updates, deep dives, and behind the scenes that help you understand what's happening now and what could still blow up at any moment. Each video in this playlist connects with the next because this story is being built in real time. So do the following. Click on the playlist, marathon the videos, and stay with me for this complete coverage. Because when that final decision comes, and it will come, you won't want to know later. You'll want to have followed every step so far.